Hello, fellow fish nerds, and happy Shrimp Saturday to you. I know I did not bring you any videos last Saturday, but as I described in my live stream, which I'll post a link to top right of the screen, right here, that I was out due to a elbow injury, which became a elbow injury from college 12 years ago, which became inflamed as it does every 2 times a year. Um, and it was inflamed this weekend. I had a fever. It was so bad. That's what happens. So, anyways, the point of this video is LJ from LJ Aquatics sent me a Facebook message over the weekend while I was basically in bed all weekend watching a Netflix series. Sent me a Facebook message saying that her shrimp are berried, and I became very jealous. But then after my live stream, which I just filmed right here, I decided to get and come and take a closer look at my shrimp while they are feeding, since that is the best time to observe and watch your shrimp. I noticed that I do have a few of my shrimp are berried as well. I got most of these shrimp from Click and Fish Aquatics. I'll put a link to their store down below. And look at that, what's it called, a painted Sakura red cherry. I'm not the best at grading shrimp yet, but I do know that's a really awesome thing to have, and she is currently fanning the shrimplets right there. Really exciting. I am super excited to have the colony increase in my little piece of shrimp paradise in here. Pretty exciting. I came over here and noticed about 2 or 3 of them are berried, is what it's called, B-E-R-R-I-E-D, with baby shrimps, baby shrimplets, whatever you want to call them, whatever the proper term is for them. I did notice a few weeks ago, probably about a month ago, I noticed that about 2 of them were saddled, meaning they had a dark area just behind their eyes that slowly moved down. So that was pretty exciting. But then after a while, I didn't see like any that were saddled anymore. But I didn't see any that were berried. So I was kind of worried that my shrimp were not berried yet. But like the guys at Click and Fish tell me, just be patient. They will eventually they will do just fine. And I was worried that I was like, maybe I need to add some more eggshells. My eggshell collection here is becoming depleted. I do need to add some more to bring up the water hardness. Maybe I haven't done a TDS check recently, but really super. Oops, sorry with the shake camera there. Super excited to see this. Is a huge relief in knowing that this is a successful tank. Some people ask about, best plants. I do have Java moss, and more Java moss, and subwasser tang, and cholwood, by the way, which there are a few shrimp on here right now eating cholwood. Sorry, that was my chocolate lab. Anyways, and I find that whenever I move around the plants, I find more shrimp under the subwasser tang than the Java moss. I don't know if that's what you find as well. But anyways, back to the shrimp action going on over here. They are feeding and fanning their babies, which is really exciting. The babies are getting pretty big, so hopefully I'll be seeing some little baby shrimp in here pretty soon. So I'm pretty excited about that. I did finally do a very small water change after about a month or so, just to keep the water parameters in check. But everything's doing just fine. Obviously, the females are still holding their baby shrimp. As you can see, I'm using a sponge filter, which will not suck the babies up, and it also will provide food for the baby shrimp as well, as they will be able to also feed on the lots of the microorganisms in the tank as well. Pretty excited about the future to come for these shrimp. There's actually a little tiny, I don't know if you can see it on the video here because my glare of my huge 10 thumbs in the video there, but actually you might be able to right there. There is a shrimp. I also did add to my colony from a fellow hobbyist at my local fish club auction. I think she put in that bag, I think it was about 10 or so shrimp, maybe a dozen. And Jessica, if you're watching this, they're still doing just fine. In fact, I know for a fact that some of the ones feeding in this bowl right here are yours. So I know you had some baby shrimp in there, so I know all the babies that are in here, the sub-adults that are in here, are yours, Jessica, so they're doing just fine. So please know that your shrimp are happy and healthy and living it up in my little 10-gallon tank, which I guess to a shrimp is a pretty big world. But yeah, they're doing just fine. But I'm hoping that addition to my shrimp colony will help to increase the size, and then I can start to, separate them by grade once I do learn more, and once I do see more differences in the quality, to start to selectively breed, because that is what I find the most interesting about this hobby, is selective breeding when it comes to a natural occurring trait, I guess you would say. Although I guess the orange painted, red sakura, whatever, is not naturally occurring, but I mean, it's a pretty consistent trait to see the red cherry shrimp. So that is an exciting part of it. That's what brought me into this hobby. Not brought me into it. Brought me into it was my 6th birthday, a 10-gallon tank with guppies and swordtails, and in my family room, little 10-gallon fish tank. That was what brought me back into it as an adult. It's definitely the science side of it. I do find the science obviously interesting. The selective breeding, the water chemistry is definitely cool. I was talking to a lady married to a fish nerd who was given the look of, okay, I'm done in here. She was at the store of Click and Fish, and she was given the look of, okay, are we done here? And the husband was like, oh, we're not done. And she said she doesn't understand why it is that us guys like, oh, that's a problem. Why us guys like the fish hobby so much. And I told her I think it's because it's a way that we can combine plumbing and electrical and science and art all into one little area. And I think that's what we like about it so much. And I looked at him and he's like, that's absolutely. And carpentry, we can build stands, we can build lighting setups, we can build, completely automated systems, we can, learn about the biology, we can learn about the chemistry that's going on in the water. And I just noticed this is a problem. I got to take this out of here like right now after I do this video. And back in the back corner back there, that looks to be like a dragonfly larva. That's got to go. I don't know how they got in here. I do have a guess. It might have come in with when I brought in some plants from my summer tubs, so that probably did it. So that will be leaving tonight. That is not a good thing, because dragonfly larvae are predatory towards fish and probably also towards shrimp as well. Either way, I'm not going to take a chance at that. That dragonfly larva will be going outside, and I will let nature take its course. I will not be killing it. I will not be putting it in conditions that will help it to survive, because that is a bad thing to see. In fact, it is currently moving on something back there. I need to get the thing out of here like real soon. I need to find a net. Where's my net? I know I've got a net in here. Oh, that's not cool. That just brought a damper on my whole night here. That is not even cool. Dragonfly larvae are good to be future dragonflies. I get it, they're part of the food chain, but they're not part of the food chain in my fish tanks. I'm sorry. Nobody got time for that in my fish tanks. So you can just go away, dragonfly larva. Not cool. So anyways, back to the happiness here. Yes, the shrimp are buried. Excited to see what will happen. So be sure to turn on the notifications to see when these shrimp baby shrimp come out and are live and swimming around in my fish tank. Pretty excited about that. Be sure to turn on notifications. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already done so. Comment below if you have any questions or comments. A lot of comments do become video content for future videos. And I hope you enjoyed it. And stay tuned and stay fishy, people.